Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show, y'all. They say if you want to hide a bullet, put it in a briefcase. If you want to kill a movement, don't shoot the leader, buy out the crowd. That's where we at now, y'all. Let me tell you what happens when street loyalty steps into the boardroom. And the boardroom decides, it don't respect where you came from. See, the day after the Blueprint betrayal went live, Black Crown was a battlefield of a different kind. Emails flooding in from all the media and the activists and federal offices and interested investors and all of these people who suddenly saw Joe's team as revolutionary. Joe wasn't fooled, though, by this attention. Now, Trayvon, he's standing by the door with his hoodie on and his hand on his hip, scanned every person that was in the room twice. Everything. Keely, she got firewalls going up faster than the city's luxury condos because everybody's trying to break in and see what they got going on behind the scene. But Joe, he sat at the heart of it all, surrounded by a whiteboard of enemies and allies, not knowing who to trust. Don't let the applause fool you. They ain't clapping for us. They clapping for access. They want in on what's going on. See, anytime you got something as monumental going on as what they have going on, and they're able to learn some kind of way to outmaneuver the other side, the allies, the opposition, the people that are in the wings waiting, it's always somebody out there wanting to take advantage of an opportunity that presents itself. No matter what game you playing, no matter what moves you make, no matter how many times you checkmate your opponent, is somebody else waiting up next to play that game with you. And that's what it is now. You got all of these people that see the movement as something revolutionary, something that could change a whole city, that could change a whole state, that could change a whole country if it catches a fire. And they see the opportunities in that. And they want a piece of it. But you got to be careful. Because see, when you allow the devil into the hen house, right, you invite his demons as well. Now, you don't know who's who and what's what, because all of these people are coming. Where were they at when it was thick? Where were they at when you were fighting, getting shot at, and hiding behind dumpsters and all of these different types of things? Where were they at? Don't get caught up on that. Don't start to ask yourself these kinds of questions that'll cause you to become so paranoid, so untrusting that you don't see the blessings in front of you. Be diligent. Be careful. Schedule it out. Stay true. Stay focused. Now, 3 days later, Joe received a formal invite from the city council. It's the business city council, the Urban Impact Summit. Oh yeah, featuring Joe, the CEO of Black Crown. Everybody wanted to hear what he had to say. Now he's looking at this gold trim envelope. It smells like a setup, Trey said, reading it over his shoulder. Joe nodded and looked at him. He said, "That's where I'm going." Keely raised an eyebrow, looking at him, and said, "You serious too? You keep wanting to step into it. What is it about you?" Joe nodded. "If we're not in the room, they make decisions about us. I'd rather be in the fire with my own matches." Another one of those moments where he was starting to step into this oneness with himself and starting to understand that, look, every movement, every cause has its bumps and bruises. It's rough side. And if you run from it, then you miss the change that'll happen. Listen to me. A lot of people don't understand change, man. They don't understand how it comes about and the sacrifices that you got to make to get to it. The old way of thinking, how when somebody would say something to offend you, the old way of thinking would be what? Do something, snap back, respond in a negative way. You can't do that. Now, well, not when you're conscious, because change is incremental. It's sometimes not seen. But see, when you're a visionary, when you that person that has been tasked by the universe to bear those scars on your back. You see it. And you grieve internally for those that can't see it. But you hold them close to you because you're doing it for them. So when they respond to you in a way that makes you feel as though they don't understand, don't get discouraged. Keep stepping forward. Keep stepping forward. Now see, the summit was held at Artist Center. This place got, listen to me, this place got the glass windows, marble floors, valet parking and all this and that. But zero soul. Do I need to be more blunt than that? Huh? I don't think I do. But again, that's where the money at. So Joe walked in wearing black jeans, a tailored black hoodie with black crown stitching, silver thread across the chest, Timberlands that echoed when he walked across that polished tile. You know that sound, y'all know that sound that makes when you clickety-clackety going across the floor. You know what I'm talking about. While he was walking across the floor, somebody ran up to him and offered him a bottle of water with his name on it. He declined. Inside the conference room, there's 15 people. They sat around, watching, looking, white oak table. Everybody's wondering what's going on. But see, he already had his mind set on the real prize. Everybody's watching to see what he's going to say and do. And it was his CEO, right? It was these real estate moguls. It was the developers, and it was politicians. And one by one, they offered these fake smiles and business cards printed on the cards, start thicker than the murals. You know what I'm saying? It's like that real heavy paper. One woman said, "We're thrilled to have you, Joe." He looked at her. He didn't return the smile, but he wasn't trying to be mean. And he said, "Save the performance. You don't have to do that with me." And she looked at him stunned and shocked that he was so blunt, but she respected it. She's been there, done that. She understood how this game is played. She didn't receive it in offense. This is not the time or place. This meeting has to take place. So the meeting started out polite. A slideshow with buzzwords like urban equity and public-private partnerships and cultural innovation, all this and that. That came with the pitch. And we want a partner. This is Marcus Gentry. Don't forget him. That's Big G's nephew. Remember him. The quiet shark in the room. We'd like to license the Black Crown name, expand its reach across the Southwest, multiple cities, government support, private money, shared leadership. Joe leaned back in his chair, arms folded. "You mean to take it?" That's what it sounds like to me. A few of the people sitting around the table, they looked at the whole situation and they looked at Joe like, all these smirks and chuckles and all this and that, right? So Marcus, he said, "Look, let's just take it to the next level." Joe stared him down, looking at him eye to eye. He didn't want him to get confused about nothing. And he said, "I am the next level." Then there was another executive that spoke up. He said, "Listen to me. You're talented, Joe, but scale requires guidance." Listen to me, y'all. When they say scale, they mean to make this thing bigger than anything than Joe ever imagined. It's going to take some expertise. That's what they were trying to say to him. Joe leaned forward, put his hands on the table, and stood up. And he said, "You invited me here to offer a knife. You just dipped it into $1 million cologne to make it smell like opportunity." Everybody in the whole place got silent. Everybody got silent. Then Marcus stood up. "It's either partnership or eventual absorption. You can't fight capital forever." Joe nodded. "I ain't trying to fight it. I'm trying to replace it. Wait a minute. You're trying to replace it. Mark is looking at, we offer you an opportunity of a lifetime here. Just take the money. But see, they didn't understand Joe's motivation. They didn't understand what he really wanted to do. He wanted these opportunities not to just be for him, but for everybody. Now, on his way out, it was this young developer that slipped him a card. Black, no name, just a number. That's all it was. He whispered, there's another way. Off books, real money, real protection. Joe looked at him. He smelled like he was up to something. He said, Roman send you? The man looked at him and blinked and said, who? Joe shoved the card down into his back pocket. Tell him he should have come himself. Or is he still scared of the South Memphis kid with a public school diploma? The man looked at him and didn't say not one word. He didn't understand what was going on, right? Joe kept walking and walked on out. And he knew he just stepped on another landmine. He knew it. Even though the young man just played it like he didn't have any understanding of who and what he was talking about, he knew he had just stepped on another landmine. And Trey, later that night, he bust up into Joe's office. They came from my cousin. Joe jumped up and said, who? Roma's people. Or maybe it was Gentry. I don't know. They were masked. They took her laptop, trashed the place, told her to send a message. Black Crown don't run shit. Joe's eyes got narrow. He pissed off now. They want us scared. Trey shook his head, looking like, what's going on? Then they forgot who we were. They done forgot who we are, what we own, what we can do. Joe grabbed his phone. We hit back. Instead of going dark, Joe got louder. He organized an emergency press event, streamed live from the lot where Black Crown's first mentorship session took place. He wanted everybody to see this. Hundreds were out there wanting to hear what he had to say. Everybody wanted to know what was about to happen. He stood on that folded stage. He ain't had no mic, no none. His voice was loud enough to shake the glass on the building. They tried to buy us. They tried to blackmail us. And when that failed, they tried to bully us. He held up a printed copy of the licensing contract. I don't care how clean they make it sound. If they ain't from the soil, they can't plant here. The crowd just went off, everybody jumping up and down, hooping and hollering South Memphis. Hashtags blew up. Black owned by none. Black Crown versus everybody. The war had officially begun. It's going down. That night, Joe's burner phone started ringing. It was an unknown number. He answered it though. It was a voice on the other end. They were talking like it was real distorted. You know, when somebody trying to, you know what I'm saying, fake it and don't want to be known, this, that, and the third, they want you to figure out this is war. It's a safe line. Joe froze. Man, where you been? Dead, man. Dead to the system. Alive where it counts. Joe started squeezing the phone. It was just an involuntary reaction, but he started squeezing the phone. They just tried to flip my crew, man. I know. And it gets worse. Marcus Gentry, this dude is working with a group out of Atlanta. Private policing contracts. They want Memphis as the pilot. Joe's heart dropped, not knowing what to say. Privatized law enforcement? Street surveillance, curfews, neighborhood raids, all legal, all wrapped up in equity language. You got one move left, Joe. One move left. You got exposed to counsel. Joe asked him, said, you got any names? They're already in your inbox. Don't hesitate. Time's up. Then the line went dead. This is big boy stuff, y'all. Joe was contemplating the conversation that he just had, you know what I'm saying, with War about what was really going on. Privatized policing, curfews, street surveillance, neighborhood raids. They want this to be done under the name of equity. What is going on? What did he step into? What was he about to agree to? That next morning, he didn't call no press conference. He called a war room. Trey, Keeley, of course, Miss Renee, Bishop, even Tank, who came in quieter than usual. Joe dropped the folder right in the center of everybody on the desk. Opened it up. On the inside, had a list of the city council members who signed these secret deals to greenlight Roman and Marcus's initiatives. Surveillance drone contracts, school zoning shifts, quiet prison funding measures designed as job centers. Keeley whispered, "This is genocide in khakis, man." Joe looked around the room. "You ready to burn this down?" They all nodded in unison. "Yeah, we ready to do this." Even Miss Renee, the prayer warrior, especially her, she was like, "What is this? What is going on?" That night, Joe uploaded Citywide, the real plan, to every digital channel that he controlled. In it, he named names, he showed receipts, he played War's distorted voice, he laid out how systematic power was trying to rebrand the hood while hollowing it out. They gonna gut it. Within hours, it was chaos. 2 city council members resigned. Gentry had to issue a public denial. Roman vanished as he usually does from sight. But Joe? He sat on the folding chair outside Black Crown headquarters, watching the sun rise over the concrete and the copper wire. This his city. Knowing the next move had to be even louder. Because this wasn't the end, y'all. It was just the next round. It was just the next round. The gloves are off. The wolves ain't hiding no more. And Joe, the street scar CEO, is showing the world how to fight a war where the enemy wears clean suits and smiles, with their fangs hidden down, ready to snap the meat off the bone. Listen to me. And if you want to know how this thing plays out, you gonna have to tune in, because if you don't tune in, you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.